Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you guys there. I was just checking out the NBC World Series' new app. You could find this app at the App Store. All you need to do is type in NBCWS to be caught up on all things NBC World Series.
NBC World Series, it all happens here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Lawrence Dumont Stadium here in Wichita, Kansas, along the banks of the Arkansas River for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez. I will be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Tonight's game will feature the visiting team, the San Diego, California Waves, versus the home team, the Colorado Cyclones. Here's our starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the Waves, leading off and playing third base will be number 2, Kyle Palm. Batting second, the center fielder will be number 14, Brian Rosario. Batting third and playing first base, number 15, Mark Salcedo. Batting fourth and playing left field will be number 22, Jake Gitter. Batting fifth and catching number 37, Juan Parra. Batting sixth and playing right field will be number 18, Justin Brazil. Batting seventh and DH number 25, Dante Gutierrez. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 6, Chris Begg. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 8, Mitch Morales. And pitching for San Diego will be number 17, Jake Foskett. Now here's the starting lineup for the home team, the Colorado Cyclones. Leading off and catching will be number 28, Kennedy Badgett. Batting second, the second baseman, number 3, Caleb Squire. Batting third and playing first base will be number 30, Ryan Sullivan. Batting fourth and playing third base will be number 20, Evan Richards. Batting fifth and playing shortstop will be number 6, Trent Bowman. Batting sixth and playing center field will be number 13, Pete Shearer. Batting seventh and DH number 11, Aidan Larini. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 25, Wyatt Featherston. Batting ninth and playing left field will be number 21, Jake Pearson. And pitching for Colorado will be number 33, Braden Brooks. We're about ready to get started here. Leading off for the San Diego, California Waves will be the third baseman, number 2, Kyle Palm. As we get started, our umpires at home plate will be Mike Lentz. First base is Clint Wheeler. And at third base, Jeff Spisak. And the first pitch is hit to the second baseman, Squire. Squire goes to Sullivan for out number 1. 4-3 put out is recorded in the books. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 14, Brian Rosario. And Rosario comes from San Lorenzo, California. He's a 5'10", 155 pounder. His first pitch is hit to the third baseman, Richards. Grabs the ball but's not able to get him, so Rosario's going to be in with a base hit. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 15, Mark Salceda. Salceda is a left-handed batter. He's up there with one runner at first base and one down. That ball hit into right center field. That's going to go clear to the fence. And around comes Rosario. And Salceda will be in at second base with his first hit of the game, a double and an RBI. As Rosario scores clear from first base, well, we're off and running by the San Diego Wave as they're swinging at the first pitch. Now batting for the Waves will be the left fielder, number 22, Jake Gitter. The score 1-0 in favor of the Waves on 3 pitches. First pitch is a strike from Braden Brooks. The 0-1 the count now. Second one called, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, runner at second base with 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. Score 1-0 in favor of the Waves. Well, we hope you enjoyed tonight's telecast. Beautiful evening here in Wichita, Kansas at Lawrence Dumont Stadium along the banks of the Arkansas River. Pitch outside. The count evens up now at 2-2. Braden Brooks throws right-handed. He's from Brighton, Colorado. 6'3", 205 pounders from Regis University. And going down is Gitter with a strikeout. That's out number 2. It's going to bring up the catcher number 37, Juan Para. And the first pitch is hit into a left field. Center fielder Shearer gets under it. That was between the left and center. Catches it for out number 3. So at the end of the top half of the first inning, the Waves score 1 run, and we'll be right back.
The city's not just built. It's grown to the needs of people. You make the infrastructure, the muscle, bone, and circulation so natural to the body of the city that you almost forget they're even there.
Well, we welcome you back here. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. This game between the Colorado Cyclones and the San Diego, California Waves. This is the Waves' second game of the NBC World Series. They are 1-0 as they won on Saturday. On the 4th, they beat the Cheney Diamond Dogs 8-7. And for the Colorado Cyclones, this is their 6th game. They are 4-1 here in the tournament as they played in week 1. They defeated the Hutchinson Monarchs on Monday, July the 30th, 6-5. Lost to the San Diego, California Reign, 4-2 on Wednesday, August the 1st. And then they beat the Cannons 4-1, and also beat the Colorado Black Bears on the 4th, 10-1. Leading off for the Cyclones will be the catcher, number 28, Kennedy Badgett. Badgett is from Arvada, Colorado. He's 6'2", 195 pounders from West Texas A&M. And pitching for the San Diego, California Waves is number 17, Jake Foskett. Count is 1-1 Foskett throws a right-hander. And the count goes 2 balls, 1 strike. He's from Encinitas, California. He's a 6'2", 200-pounder. Junior from Concordia. And that's fouled off. So now the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Foskett is in there pitching for the San Diego, California Waves. Swinging strike 3. Foskett records his first strikeout of the game. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Caleb Squires. Squires bats left-handed from Arvada, Colorado. He is a 5'9", 185-pounder from Vanguard University. 0-1 the count. Count evens up now to 1-1. The Colorado Cyclones from the Mile High Collegiate League. They are 3-time defending champions. They won the championships in 15, 16, and 17. And unfortunately, I didn't have a record for them for this year, but they apparently did fairly well. They qualified for the NBC World Series. There's a foul ball to the left-hand side. All I could find was their schedule, but no scores or record. But the Colorado Cyclones here in Wichita, Kansas. They are coach. There's a ball hit up the middle. And not able to get to it is Morales at shortstop. So Squires will be in with a base hit. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 30, Ryan Sullivan. The Cyclones are coached by 2008 Friends of Baseball, Bennett Anderson, Coach of the Year, J.L. Buchanan. Assisted by Shane Dyer, Grant Buchanan, and of course, we all know the general manager, Jeff Buchanan. Count is 0-1 now to Ryan Sullivan. That ball is fouled off to the right-hand side. And Sullivan is from Aurora, Colorado, a 6'5", 225-pounder. Going to Gonzaga. No balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first base and 1 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. That pitch is called a ball. As the score is 1-0 in favor of the San Diego, California Waves over the Colorado Cyclones. And there's the pitch high, so that evens up the count now at 2-2. It was a little muggy here in Wichita today. Talked to some of the fans out in the stands, and they said it's one of the most uncomfortable days that they've had here in the last 2 weeks. We've had some great weather here in Wichita this year for the NBC World Series, powered by Westar Energy. And there's the pitch by Foskett, and he strikes out Sullivan, going down swinging. For out number 2, that's going to bring up the third baseman, number 20, Evan Richards.
Third baseman, number 20, Evan Richards.
And Evan is a left-handed batter from Aurora, Colorado. He's 5'8", 185-pounders from South Alabama. First pitch is fouled off. 0-1 now the count. Once again, we have a runner at first base. There goes Squires. Not going to be in time as Parr throws to the left of the bag. Morales covering. And Caleb Squires has a stolen base. Standing now at second base with 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning between the Colorado Cyclones and the San Diego, California Waves. And here's Foskett's pitch, just high and outside. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'll tell you a little bit more about the San Diego Wave when they come up to bat. They got quite a history here in the NBC World Series. There's a ball missing inside. Colorado wearing orange with white pants, and the San Diego, California Waves, black tops and black hats with white pants. Count evens up now. Correction, that is now full, 3-2. With the runner at second base and 2 down. And here's the pitch, missing high. So Richards will take his base on balls. So we have a runner at first and second now, and now batting the shortstop, number 6, Trent Bowman. Bowman bats right-handed. He's a 5'11", 185 pounder from William Jewell College. Maquoketa, Iowa is his hometown. And the count is 1 ball, no strikes now to Bowman. Bowman comes in batting .562. There's a foul ball along the right-hand side. He's played in 5 games, started 4. Been up the bat 16 times, has 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 triple, 6 RBIs, 1 base on balls, 2 strikeouts, and has no stolen bases but had 1 attempt. So he's been a busy guy here for the Colorado. Once again, Colorado coming out of the first week, one of the 2 teams. The Angels are the other team. They're both doing fairly well. There's a foul ball. And the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 guys on base and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. They're trying to tie the ball game up. And this Foskett's pitch, once again fouled off by Bowman. And the umpire calls timeout to get some more baseballs. And we're ready to go. Second baseman Squires kind of jumping around the base there. That's through Foskett's attention for just a second. Defensively for the Wave. So Seda is at first base. Begg at second. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. Morales at short. Palm at third base. Gitter is in left field. Rosario in center field. and Brazil in right field. Juan Parra is catching. And once again, pitching is number 17, Jeff Foskett. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's Foskett's pitch. Ball hit down the third base side. It is foul again. So hanging tough up there is Trent Bowman. Okay, we've said that he has 6 RBIs so far here in the tournament. And he's got somebody in scoring position here at second base. There's a ball missing outside. Catcher thinking that Bowman went around. Now he's asking for the home plate umpire to check with the first base umpire. The umpire says no, he's all right. So the count goes full now, 3-2. Base runners will be taken off as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning, with the Wave ahead 1-0 over the Cyclones. And here's Foskett's pitch, missing high. So now we're going to have bases loaded. Bowman on first. Richards will be standing at second base as he got on with a walk. And Caleb Squires will be now at third base as he reached on a base hit. And we're going to have a timeout from coach for the Waves. The coaching staff for the Waves, while they're out there, let me let you know who they are. Head coach is Greg Lundquist, assisted by Mike Studer, Jason Semester, Smizer, Jed Cook, and helping out this year, or here at the NBC, is the legendary pitching coach, John Shin. We'll tell you a little bit more about John as we, he's going to try to join our telecast tomorrow, as I do all the 9:30 games, and the San Diego Stars will be playing tomorrow, so he thought he would join me tomorrow, so hopefully we can do that. He joined us last year as the Wave were playing, and added quite a bit to as a color commentator. Now batting is a center fielder, number 13, Pete Shearer, left-handed batter for the Colorado Cyclones. Shearer is batting .273. He's been up to bat 11 times, has 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 double, 1 triple, 5 RBIs, and there's a high fly ball into left field, and Golden Back is getter, and that's going to be a grand slam home run by Pete Shearer. That is the 3rd grand slam home run of this tournament. So just one swing of the bat, and the Colorado Cyclones have taken a 4-1 lead, here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Shearer has 4 RBIs as the Cyclones now are up 4-1 in the bottom half of the first inning. That ball had no question that it was going to be gone. We do have a breeze from right field to left field, but that ball was well hit by Pete Shearer. Now batting is the designated hitter number 11, Aiden Larini. And Larini is batting .222. He's been up to bat 9 times. Has 2 hits, has scored 1 run, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 1 base on balls, hit by pitch once, 3 strikeouts, and has not attempted a stolen base. So he's up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and he's going to take a walk. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 25, Wyatt Featherstone.
We are a great choice for your personal financial needs, and most of all, we're passionate about helping our members achieve their financial goals.
Featherstone has been up batting 125. He's been up 16 times. He has 2 hits, 1 run scored, 1 double, and 4 RBIs. First pitch is called a strike. And here's Foskett's pitch missing high. Count evens up now at 1-1. So the San Diego Wave took the lead in the top half of the first inning. They scored 1 run and 1 swing of the bat by Shearer as he hit the 3rd grand slam of this tournament. There's a hard hit ball along the left-hand side, going to be foul. So the count's going to go to 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first base. And we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the first. Foskett has already thrown 44 pitches here in the bottom half of the first inning. There's a foul ball. Count stays 2-2 now. To the right fielder, Featherstone for the Colorado Cyclones. Foskett pitch, call strike 3 for out number 3. But the Colorado Cyclones score 4 runs, so at the end of 1, it is the Cyclones 4 and the Waves 1. We'll be right back.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road, endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
Well, we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium as we're going up to the top half of the second inning, and the score, the Cyclones from Colorado 4 and the San Diego, California Waves 1. California, the San Diego, California Waves come out of the Western Baseball Association. They have played 1 game so far here in this tournament. They're 1-0 as they beat the Diamond Dogs 8-7. They used to be called the North County Waves, and they were formed in 1995 by Doug Johnson and Mike Studer as a men's league all-star team and travel team. In their first year of existence, the Wave joined the National Baseball Congress and have been a member ever since. There's Brazil, ball hitting to the second baseman. Squire goes to first for out number 1. So 4-3 is the put out. That's going to bring up the designated hitter number 25, Dante Gutierrez. Dante is a left-handed batter from Chula Vista, California. He's 5'10". There's a ball hit to past the third baseman Richards. So Gutierrez will be on with a base hit. Gutierrez is a 5'10", 195 pounder. It's going to bring up the second baseman number 6, Chris Begg. Chris hits it past the third base, a diving third baseman, Richards. So one swing of a bat, and Beggs is on with a base hit. Gutierrez moves over to second base, and it's going to bring up the shortstop, number 8, Mitch Morales. And Morales bats right-handed from Marietta, California. It's 5'8", 160-pounder. He's a sophomore out of Palomar Community College. First pitch is fouled off, so no balls and 1 strike. Gutierrez reached on the base hit past the third baseman. Begg reached on a base hit past the third baseman. So the runners first and second with 1 out. There's a swing and a miss by Morales. And Braden Brooks is up 0-2 now to Morales. And Brooks ready for his pitch. And a ball hit past the diving shortstop Bowman, who moved to his right. Stopping at third base will be Gutierrez. And Begg moves to second base on the base hit from Morales. So 3 hits in a row now here for the San Diego, California Waves in the top half of the second inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman now, number 2, Kyle Palm. This is Palm's second time at bat. Palm is batting .500. I should say he was batting .500 as he started the ball game. He grounded out to the second baseman as he started off the game in the top half of the first inning. No balls, 1 strike. Ball by Brooks is down low, and Badgett is able to make it stop. But the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Base is full now with 1 out here in the top half of the second inning for the San Diego, California Waves. Here's the pitch by Brooks, missing high for ball 2 now. Brooks pitch in for a strike. Evens up the count now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a ball hit up the middle by Palm. So 1 run will score. Gutierrez comes in. Second run scores is Begg. And Morales ends up at third base with a double by Kyle Palm.
Center fielder number 14, Brian Rosario.
And we're going to have a timeout as the coach comes out for Colorado. So 2 runs have scored here in the top half of the second inning. And now takes the score to the Colorado Cyclones 4 and the San Diego, California Waves 3. As they have recorded 6 hits here in just 2 innings. Colorado has scored 4 runs on 2 hits. Of course, the grand slam home run in the bottom half of the first inning by Pete Shearer. So now Palm is at second base. So he recorded 2 RBIs. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 14, Brian Rosario. Rosario reached on a base hit in the top half of the first inning and scored a run on the double by Salceda. It's going to be fouled down. Ball hit down the left field line. That's going to bounce over for a ground rule double by Rosario, and Rosario records his second hit of the game. He'll be at second. And both runs score. Morales, that was at third base, and Palm, who was standing at second base. So now the Wave have scored 4 runs here in the top half of the second inning. Now takes the score to the Waves 5 and the Cyclones 4. Now batting is first baseman, number 15, Mark Salceda. Diving back at second base was Rosario on attempted pickoff. Salceda reached his first time at bat with a double and then 1 RBI as he scored Rosario in the first inning. There's a hard hit ball to the first baseman. Sullivan is able to scoop it up and goes unassisted at first base for out number 2. On that play, Rosario moves over to third base. And now here comes the coach for the Colorado Cyclones, and that's going to be it for Braden Brooks as the head coach signals to the bullpen. Once again, 4 runs have been scored here in the top half of the 4th inning. And we'll see who's coming in here. It's going to be number 36, which for the Cyclones, I believe that's Lewis. Let me take a check. That's right, number 36 is Dalton Lewis. Now pitching for the Colorado. Lewis has probably seen action in every game that they've played in so far. So 36, Dalton Lewis, a right-handed thrower from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. 6 foot, 210 pounder from Southern Indiana College. Will now come in relief. Let's see what they give. Brooks finishes up going 1 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 1 strikeout on 12 batsmen. He faced 12 batters. So Dalton Brooks, Dalton Lewis comes on in relief now for the Colorado Cyclones. Here in the top half of the second inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 22, Jake Gitter. Gitter struck out his first time at bat. And Gitter, first pitch is fouled off to the left into the stands. Gitter is from New Orleans, Louisiana, 6'2", 215 pounders, University of Northern Colorado, sophomore. So 0-1 now to Gitter. There's a sidearm pitch there from Dalton Lewis, missing way outside. So the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. With a runner at third base and 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. There's a call, strike 2 now, as Lewis hits the outside corner. Runner third base with 2 down. And the score, the Wave 5 and the Cyclones 4. That ball fouled off. So the count stays the same now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jake Gitter. Here's the pitch from Lewis, missing high. Evens up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's call, strike 3. So Gitter goes down looking for out number 3. But not before the Waves score 4 runs, 5-4, and we'll be right back.
If we really put everything in our name that we do, it would look like this. Professional mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, telecommunications, civil, transportation, aviation, water, wastewater, energy, land development, planning, field services, survey, geotechnical, materials testing, inspection, 3D scanning, air and water balance, engineering consultants.
And we welcome you back here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. We're going to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. And starting his 2nd inning of work is number 17, Jeff Foskett. He'll be facing the left fielder, number 21, Jake Pearson. Pearson has appeared in 3 games, started 2. He's been up to bat 6 times, has no hits. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. The count is 2 balls, 1 strike now to Pearson. Had to go let up the board operator know that they had me on the PA. And that's not good. I do that during the daytime. That ball hit to the Roselle, makes a catch for out number 1. Brings up the catcher, number 28, Kennedy Badgett. Badgett struck out his first time at bat. Now beneath the second baseman, number 3, Caleb Squires. Squires is got a base hit his first time at bat and scored a run. There's a foul ball along the left-hand side. Count is no balls, 2 strikes down to Squires. As we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. There's strike three for out number three here in the bottom half of the second inning. So at the end of 2 innings of play, it is the Waves 5.
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities, providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. As we go to the top half of the third inning, and the score, the Wave 5 and the Cyclones 4. Going to bring up the catcher, number 37, Juan Pera. He's from Temecula, California. There's a ball hit to the shortstop, but tagged by Sullivan for out number one. 6'2", 200-pounder, Point Loma Nazarene University. And I went downstairs to get some information from him because he was not listed on the rosters. And he wanted me to make sure that I said hi to his dad, Peter Para. So, Peter, hi from your son, Juan. All right, now batting will be the right fielder, number 18, Justin Brazil. 6'3" on the play, the put out to start off the top half of the third inning. Fouled off there by Brazil. Defensively for Dalton Lewis. Sullivan at first, Squires at second, Bowman at short, Richards at third base, Pearson in left, Shearer in center, Featherstone in right, and Badgett catching for Dalton Lewis, who is in relief for the Colorado Cyclones. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Brazil. Swinging strike 3. For out number 2 here in the top half of the second inning. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, number 25, Dante Gutierrez.
Designated hitter number 25, Dante Gutierrez.
Gutierrez reached on a base hit in the second inning and scored a run. Here's the pitch from Lewis. Call strike 1. Pitch missing outside. Count evens up now to 1-1. We're supposed to have some rain here tonight in Wichita, Kansas. It looked like it was going to rain earlier, but it all seemed to have gone east of the stadium. There's a call, strike 2 as Lewis hits the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the top half of the third inning. Wind's kind of picked up just a little bit more. Still 94 degrees here in Wichita as we're reaching the 11 o'clock hour. Lewis pitch, ball hit right back up the middle, up past Lewis. Bowman covering and gets it behind second base. Goes to Sullivan for out number 3. 6-3 on the put out. for out number 3. No runs at the end of 2.5. It is with a Wave 5 and the Cyclones 4. We'll be right back.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. We are in the bottom half of the 3rd inning as the Colorado Cyclones, now batting, will be the first baseman, number 30, Ryan Sullivan. And Jeff Foskett starting his 3rd inning of work. There's a ball hit to the left side, right side of Richards, the 3rd baseman, in foul territory. So no balls, 1 strike now to Ryan Sullivan. Struck out his first time at bat. There was a hard hit ball down the left field line into the bullpen area of the San Diego Waves. So no balls, 2 strikes. As we're just starting off here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Ball hit to the shortstop. Morales hustles in, gets it over to Salceda for out number 1.
Third baseman number 20, Evan Richards.
6-3 is the put out. It's going to bring up the 3rd baseman number 20, Evan Richards. Richards reached on a base on balls and scored on that home run from Pete Shearer, who hit a grand slam home run in the bottom half of the 1st inning. As the Waves scored 1 run in the top half of the 1st, Cyclones scored 4 in the bottom half. The Wave come back and score 4 runs to make it 5-4, and that's where we stand. There's a hard hit ball to Roselle in right field, takes a couple steps to his right, gets under it, makes the catch for out number 2. So now batting for the Cyclones will be the shortstop, number 6, Trent Bowman. Bowman reached on a base on balls. And that's about the only mistake besides that home run pitch that Foskett threw to Shearer. He gave up 2 base on balls right before that home run. 2-0 now the count to Trent Bowman. There's a ball hit to the shortstop. Morales goes to his left, cut across to Salceda for out number 3. The put out 6-3, and that's the end of the 3rd inning. The score, the Wave 5 and the Cyclones 4. We'll be right back.
At Davis Moore, we pride ourselves on our ability to provide a safe and reliable driving experience to all of our customers. When we say that safety is our top priority, we mean it. That's why every single one of our pre-owned vehicles goes through a 171-point inspection before it ever goes on our lot. And with our Davis Moore 360 guarantee, you can drive forever, worry-free. So let us prove to you that we have the best car care and best customer experience, and why nobody beats a Davis Moore deal. Come by any one of our 5 Davis Moore locations or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
And we welcome you back here at the Lawrence Dumont Stadium. You're watching the visiting team, the San Diego, California Waves, versus the home team, the Colorado Cyclones. The score, the Wave 5 and the Cyclones 4, as we're going up to the top half of the fourth inning. Leading off for the Wave will be the second baseman, number 6, Chris Begg. Begg got a base hit in the second inning and scored a run. There's a pitch by Lewis. First pitch hit into center field. Begg records his second hit of the game. It's going to bring up the shortstop, number 8, Mitch Morales. Morales also got a base hit and scored. On a double from Rosario. And Lewis goes to Sullivan at first base, and Begg is in safely. And here's Lewis's pitch. Swinging strike one to Mitch Morales, shortstop for the Wave. As the count goes, no balls, 1 strike, with a runner at first base and no outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. Dalton Lewis, and squaring around a bunt was Morales. Count goes to no balls, 2 strikes now to Mitch Morales. Morales is 1 for 1 with 1 run scored, batting .400 here in the NBC World Series. There's Lewis going to first base again. Back as safely as Begg. So far in this game, San Diego scored 5 runs off of 8 hits. They have answered back in the second inning as the Cyclones scored 4 runs in the bottom half of the first. And the Colorado Cyclones have 4 runs off 2 hits and 1 error. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Mitch Morales as Dalton Lewis ready for the pitch. That missing inside, the count evens up now at 2-2. So Begg has 2 for 2 in the ball game and standing at first base. And he's taken off there, and it's fouled off by Morales. So Chris Begg will now head back to first base. And the count's going to stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So we're in the top half of the fourth inning here in Wichita, Kansas. Still have some fans here. It's about shortly after 11 o'clock. 11:02 by my clock. Just missing outside. That was a close pitch. I think Dalton Lewis thought he might have had it, but was called a ball. So the count goes full now, 3-2. Mitch Morales is batting for the second time here in the ball game. And Lewis's pitch. There's a ball hit to right center field. And that's going to fall in the gap. Going to third base will be Begg. Morales rounds first base, but decides to go back. So Morales records his second hit of the game. And moving to third base is Chris Begg. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 2, Kyle Palm. And Palm's a left-handed batter. This is his third time to bat here in the ball game. Palm is 1 for 2 with 1 run scored, 2 RBIs, batting .500. First pitch was a strike. No balls, 1 strike down to Kyle Palm. And there stepping off is Dalton Lewis. Pretend like he was going to go to third base and goes to first and didn't quite get the ball over to the first baseman as Sullivan had to step off the bag and then it bounced on the turf, but was able to get to it. So nobody advances. There's a call, strike. So the count goes no balls, 2 strikes now to Kyle Palm. Left-handed batter, third baseman for the Waves. And here's Lewis' pitch. There's a ball hit into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Chris Begg will score from third base. Now takes the score to 6-4 in favor of the San Diego, California Waves. Morales is now at second. Palm records his second hit of the game as he had a double in the second inning. And an RBI now. That's 3 RBIs for Kyle Palm. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 14, Brian Rosario. Rosario is 2 for 2 as he had a single in the first, a double in the second, with 2 RBIs. He takes strike 1. No balls and 1 strike now to Rosario. Missing outside. Count evens up at 1-1 now. Once again, runners at first and second with no outs here in the top half of the 4th inning for the San Diego Waves. Dalton's Lewis's call, strike. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brian Rosario. Begg reached on a base hit. That's fouled off along the left-hand side. Count stays at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch missing outside by Dalton Lewis. One and 2 the count now. There's a ball foul along the third base side into the stands.
Autotech is a one-stop service center for all your vehicle service needs located
And we got about
Central, home of the $24
kids chasing that ball down, trying to get a souvenir.
0707.
I love it when those kids get those balls, they stick it up in the air like a trophy. 2-2 the count. There's a ball hit to the third base side over third baseman's head. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Coming around from second base is Morales, and he will score. That now takes the score to 7-4 in favor of the San Diego, California Waves. Moving to second base is Palm.
Baseball and softball products for all levels, while striving to inspire participation in baseball and softball with character, integrity,
And Rosario records his third hit of the game. And an RBI.
organizations nationwide. You can find Diamond online at diamond
It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 15, Mark Salcedo. Correction, Salceda. Salceda had a double and an RBI in the first inning. as Rosario came in to score. Then he unassisted to the first baseman in the second inning as he recorded the second out of the inning. There's a hard hit ball to the first baseman. Sullivan grabs it. Nice diving stop, and he goes to second base for the double play as Palm was off the bag. A great play there by Sullivan as he dove to his right. Going to bring up the left fielder number 22, Jake Gitter. That's F3. And then 3-6 on the putout. Double play. There goes Rosario to second base, but it is fouled off by Gitter. Rosario will be heading back to first base. No balls, one strike now to left fielder Jake Gitter. Again, I said Gitter is from New Orleans, Louisiana. Count evens up now at 1 balls, 1 strike. As we're in the top half of the fourth inning. The Waves 7 and the Cyclones 4. Ball by Lewis missing outside. 2-1 now the count. Runner at first base with 2 outs. And Salceda hit a hard drive to the first baseman, and he doubled up Palm at second base. As Palm was moving on the hit. 3-1 now to Jake Gitter. And there goes Rosario. That is ball 4. So Gitter will be moving to first base on that base on balls. Rosario goes to second base. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 37, Juan Parra. Parra flew out to center field in the top half of the first inning to make the third out. And then he started off the third inning as he grounded out to this shortstop for the first out. That ball missing outside. So it's 0 for 2 here in this ball game. And Lewis steps off as Rosario had taken a little bit of a lead. Just enough to catch Dalton Lewis's attention. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Lewis's pitch missing inside, so the count goes 2-0. We already have recorded a total of 13 hits here in the ball game, with 11 runs scored, 7 by the Wave and 4 by the Cyclones. Dalton Lewis's ball is fouled off by Parra. And the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. To the catcher, Parra, from the San Diego Wave. Here's Lewis' pitch. Call strike 2. Parra thought that one was just a little bit high. Made a motion like to the umpire, like it might have been just a tad high, but umpire called it a strike. So the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now Parra steps out. So we'll restart here. There is a 20-second pitch clock between pitches. And Parra hits the ball to center field. Shearer's backing up, gets under it, makes the catch for out number 3. Not before the Waves score 2 runs. At the end of 3.5, it is the Waves 7 and the Cyclones 4. We'll be right back.
Won't you come dream with me now, now? You're chasing down a beautiful dream. Won't you come follow me now, now? Yeah. Won't you come dream with me now, now?
And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium. You're watching and listening to the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series game between the Colorado Cyclones and the San Diego, California Waves. Leading off in the bottom half of the 4th inning for Colorado will be the center fielder number 13, Pete Shearer. Shearer hit a grand slam home run in the bottom half of the 1st inning. That's the only run scored so far here in the ball game for Colorado. They're down 7-4 to start off the bottom half of the 4th. 2-0 now the count to Pete Shearer, the center fielder for the Cyclones. So 6 foot, 205 pounders from Washburn University. And the ball hits him, so Shearer will be taking his base on a hit batsman. Got him on the ankle. So Shearer will move to first. Coming up to bat will be the designated hitter number 11, Aiden Larini. Larini from Centennial, Colorado. He's a 6'1", 200-pounder from Texas Wesleyan. And that ball hit to left center field. Going over is Rosario, but it's just going to fall in, and we're going to have a double by Larini. Moving over to third base is Shearer. So Larini will be at second base as he records his first hit of the game. And coming out is coach for the Waves, and that's going to be it for Jeff Foskett. We'll see who's coming in now for the Wave. The right-handed pitcher. And I believe it's number 10. Yes, it is. So now pitching for San Diego will be number 10, Michael Coppins. He's a right-hander thrower from Fullerton, California. A 6'3", 160-pounder. Sophomore from Bellevue. So he'll be coming in to pitch in relief of Jeff Foskett. We'll get the numbers for Foskett went a total of 3 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 base on balls, 4 strikeouts, as he faced 16 batters. So that's it for Foskett. And now number 10, Michael Coppins will be pitching for San Diego. I was hoping that the coach for the San Diego Wave, Junior Ta'ele, is listening in. If you are, we miss you here in Wichita. And guess what? I learned how to pronounce your name. It's the first thing the coach has said to me from the Waves here this evening. She said, I don't have to say that name no more. And I pronounced it for him, and he goes, my God, that's correct. And I said, I've been practicing that name all year long. No balls, 1 strike. So wish you were here, but we understand. Now the infield comes in as we have runners at second and third with no outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Wave up 7-4 over the Colorado Cyclones. Batting is the right fielder number 25, Wyatt Featherston. Featherston struck out in the bottom half of the 1st inning, and he made the 3rd out of the inning. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike now to Featherston. Once again, now pitching number 10, Copland. And that is fouled off to the third base side. Evens up the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men on base with no outs. As Michael Copland ready to change up, 66 miles an hour, missing. So the count goes full now, 3-2. Does have first base open. And then missing outside. So Featherston will be on base on a base on balls as the Colorado Cyclones have put on the first 3 batters here in the top half of the 4th inning. Shearer got on with a hit batsman. Rainey reached on a double, and now base on balls to Featherston. Now batting will be the left fielder number 21, Jake Pearson. First pitch is a ball. And Pearson's from Hera, Oklahoma. A 6'1", 200-pounder from Murray State College. 2 balls, no strikes now to Pearson. Their ball hit past the third baseman, Palm, and 1 run will score as Shear comes around. Also coming around is Larini. The ball gets away as the left fielder throws the ball in, and the ball gets away from the catcher. So that means Featherston moves over to third base. And Badgett, Crichton, and Pearson goes to second. Pearson recorded with a single, 2 RBIs. That's going to bring up the catcher, number 28, Kennedy Padgett. Now the score, 7, should be 2 runs scored. Featherston standing at third base. There they go. They just finally put the other run up. That makes it 7-6 in favor of the Wave. But the Colorado Cyclones are coming back as they score 2 runs. They have runners at second and third with no outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And Paget the batter. This is Paget's 3rd time to bat. There's a fouled off there by Paget. Paget is batting .217 for the tournament, but he's 0 for 2 here tonight, as he has 1 strikeout, and he grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. Ball missing outside. Nice job there by Parra to save the runners from advancing, so the count goes to 1-1. Correction, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The umpire is letting the officials scoreboard operator know. And swing and a miss. Hoppins records his first strikeout of the ball game as Paget goes down swinging for out number 1. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Caleb Squires. Squires reached on base on a base hit in the 1st inning and scored a run on that home run by Shearer. Struck out in the 2nd. That ball low. Parr blocking it. So the count is 1 ball, no strikes, with the runners at 2nd and 3rd base. And 1 down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 7-6 now. Wave over the Cyclones. But the Cyclones have runners in scoring position. The tying run at 3rd base, the go-ahead run at 2nd base. 2 balls and no strikes now to Caleb Squires. There's a pitch missing high and outside. 3-0 now the count. We do have somebody warming up in the bullpen. Call strike 1. I believe it's number 39 warming up for San Diego. Zach Haupt. That one's fouled off. And the legendary pitching coach, John Shin, lets the coaches know that he's ready to go if needed. So the count is full now, 3-2. There's a ball hit along the right-hand side. So Seda, but it is foul. So Seda moved to his left, but was in foul territory. So the count stays full now, 3-2. With 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. There's a hard hit ball. Looks like it's gonna fall in front of Brazil in right field. 1 run will score. Featherston holding up at 3rd base is Pearson. So a base hit by Squires. He records his 2nd hit of the game. And first RBI. And now ties the ball game at 7 apiece. It's going to bring up the the first baseman, number 30, Ryan Sullivan. Now batting. Sullivan struck out his first time at bat in the bottom half of the 1st inning, made the second out that inning, and then he started off the 3rd inning with a 6-3. There's a hard hit ball to the short second baseman, Berg to Morales. Morales goes to Seda for a double play, but not before the Colorado Cyclones have tied the ball game up. At the end of 4, the score 7-7. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight. We are going to the top half of the fifth inning. The score tied up at 7 apiece, but not before we have a pitching change now for Colorado. Coming in to pitch is number 14, J.T. Mossberg.
Sitting out for the San Diego Waves, right fielder number 18, Justin Brazil.
And the first batter that he'll be facing is right fielder number 18, Justin Brazil. Brazil, first pitch is fouled off along the third base side. Brazil started off the second inning with a 4-3, which second base to first for out number one, and then struck out in the third inning as he made the second out of that inning. Now he tries to lay down a bunt. It is 0-2 now to Brazil. Once again, J.T. Mossberg, now the pitcher. He's from Eaton, Colorado. He's a 6-foot, 175-pounder from New Mexico Highlands. Right-handed thrower for the Colorado Cyclones as he starts off here in the top half of the fifth inning. And there's a ball hit to the shortstop right over the shortstop's head. Bowman jumped up and tried to get that, but it just barely went over. So Brazil records his first hit of the game. That brings up the designated hitter number 25, Dante Gutierrez. Gutierrez reached on a base hit in the second inning and scored a run on a double by Palm. And then he grounded out to the shortstop to end the inning in the third inning. So Gutierrez is up with a runner at first base as we just get started in the top half of the fifth inning. First pitch is a ball to Dante Gutierrez. Ball hit into center field. Coming in from center is Shearer. Makes the catch for out number one.
For Tuesdays here at the NBC World Series. Join us every Tuesday for our 2 for 2.
It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 6, Chris Begg. Begg has been up twice, has 2 base hits.
Second baseman number 6.
Also has 2 runs scored. There's a fouled off by Begg. Officially, he's 2 for 2. And the second pitch is fouled off, so no balls, 2 strikes. A runner at first base with 1 down here in the top half of the fifth inning. The score tied up at 7 apiece between the San Diego, California Waves and the Colorado Cyclones. Swinging and missing, strike 3 for out number 2. As Mossberg records his first strikeout. It's going to bring up the shortstop number 8, Mitch Morales.
Shortstop number 8, Mitch Morales.
Morales is 2 for 2. As he's also scored 2 runs. He is batting .500 for the tournament. And there's a ball hit over the second baseman. Second baseman backs up. Squire makes the catch for out number 3. So at the top half of the fifth inning, no runs for the Waves, and we're still tied up at the end of 4.5 at 7 apiece. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Colorado Cyclones will bring up the third baseman, number 20, Evan Richards.
Third baseman number 20, Evan Richards.
Richards reached on a walk in the first inning and scored on that grand slam home run by Shearer. Then he flew out to right field in the third inning to make the second out of that inning. So he's 0 for 1 officially with 1 run scored, 1 base on balls, and he's batting .381 for the tournament as the Cyclones are in their 6th game of this NBC World Series. And there's Richards will reach on a base on balls, his second one of this ball game. It's going to bring up the shortstop, number 6, Trent Bowman. This is Bowman's third time at bat here today. He is 0 for 1 officially. 1 run scored with a base on balls, and he is batting .529 for the tournament. One ball, no strikes now to Bowman. He squares around the bunt. The ball gets away from the catcher, Para, and moving over to second base will be Richards, who had reached on a base on balls. The count goes to 2 balls, no strikes now to Trent Bowman, the shortstop for the Colorado Cyclones. As we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Wave started off the scoring by scoring 1 run in the top half of the first. The Colorado Cyclones answered with a grand slam home run in the bottom half of the first inning. Then the Wave come back, and that grand slam home run, by the way, was by Pete Shearer. There's a bunt attempt, goes foul from Bowman. And then the Wave scored 4 runs in the top half of the second inning to make it 5-4. We went scoreless till the top half of the 4th inning, where the Wave scored 2 runs, made it 7-4. And then in the bottom half of the 4th inning, the Cyclones scored 3 runs to tie the ball game up to make it 7-7. And there's a base hit into center field by Bowman. Coming around second base will be Richards. And Bowman records his first hit of the game and an RBI. Now the Colorado Cyclones take the lead 8-7 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Now batting will be the center fielder, number 13, Pete Shearer. And what was very impressive about that grand slam home run by Shearer is that he's a left-handed batter and he hit it into left field. There's fouled off there by Shearer. Count evens up now at 1 ball, 1 strike with a runner at first base and no outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, as the Cyclones just took the lead 8-7. And Coppins throws over to first base as Bowman hit back safely. And there goes Bowman to second base. It's going to have a stolen base as he ends up at second base. He took that one off the pitcher because he was off and running. So 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. There's call strike 2. Count evens up at 2-2 now with a runner at second base as Bowman just stole a second. So he had a base hit to get on base. With no outs. And Coppins just missing. High and outside. Count is full now, 3-2. There's a hard hit ball into center field. Coming around is Bowman. There is the throw from Rosario. It's going to be off from second base, but holding up is Bowman at third base. He was coming hard, and all of a sudden the coach put the brakes on. So Bowman will end up at third base, and Shearer is on with a base hit as he records his second hit of the game. And coach has seen enough. We're going to have a relief pitcher now coming in for the San Diego, California Waves. The right-handed thrower. And that's going to be it for Michael Coppins. I believe it's going to be number 39. Zach Haupt will now be pitching. He's a right-handed thrower. From Carlsbad, California. He's a 6'9", 225-pounder, sophomore, redshirt sophomore that is, from the University of Sioux Falls. So while he's warming up, we're going to take a small break and we'll be right back. All right, we welcome you back. Once again, the new pitcher now for San Diego. Number 39, Zach Haupt. H-A-U-P-T is the way it's spelled. He's going to be facing the designated hitter, number 11, Aiden Lurini. And the first pitch is ball. It goes down to Shearer, and they have a double steal. It's going to be thrown out. A nice job there. That first toss was from Pera to Morales. Morales comes right back to Pera, and coming in trying to score was Bowman, and he gets thrown out at home. But ending up at second base is Shearer. For out number one. One ball, no strikes. Just missing outside. The count goes 2-0 now to Lorene. Rainey reached on a base on balls in the first inning and was left stranded as Featherstone struck out for the third out. Then he had a double in the 4th inning. So Larini is 1 for 1 with 1 run scored and 1 base on balls. He is batting .300 for the tournament. There's a foul ball by Larini. Count goes full now, 3-2. With a runner at second base and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 1 run already scored for the Colorado Cyclones in the bottom half of the 5th. There's a fly ball to the second baseman backing up. Begg, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Had to go to short center field to make that catch. So we have 2 down. F4 is the play. That's going to bring up the right fielder, number 25, Wyatt Featherstone.
Right fielder number 25, Wyatt Featherstone.
This is Featherstone's 3rd time at bat here in the ball game. Featherstone is 0 for 1 officially with 1 run score, 1 base on balls, and 1 strikeout. And shows that he's batting .111 for the tournament. 1 ball, no strikes to Featherstone. And there is some action again in the Waves bullpen. Oh, strike 1. Count evens up now at 1-1. Shearer is at second base. We have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. Brazil gets under it, makes the catch for out number 3, but not before the Cyclones score 1 run, and now the score at the end of 5. It is the Colorado Cyclones 8 and the San Diego Wave 7. We'll be right back.
Guess how much I got this seat for? Only $5. Yes, $5 because of our $5 baseball nights. And our $5 baseball starts Sunday, July 29th and goes till Thursday, August 2nd. And then we will have our final $5 baseball night on Tuesday, August 7th. So make sure to go pick up your $5 baseball vouchers at Goodwill and Quick Trip in the Wichita area.
And we welcome you back to this ball game between the San Diego, California Waves and the Colorado Cyclones. Cyclones up 8-7 as we head into the top half of the 6th inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. We hope you're enjoying the telecast and the play-by-play. Leading off will be the third baseman, number 2, Kyle Palm for the Waves. Again, JT Mossberg now pitching for Colorado. There's a ball hit along the third base side. Nice hustle there by Richards, but could not get to it. So the count is no balls and 1 strike to Kyle Palm. Palm is 2 for 3 here tonight with 1 run scored and 3 RBIs as he had a double and a single. Double in the 2nd with 2 runs scored and a single in the 4th with 1 run scored. He is batting .600 for this tournament. There's a ball missing high. The count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Kyle Palm, third baseman for the San Diego Waves. And here goes Mossberg's pitch, fouled off by Palm. No defensive changes so far in the ball game. We still have Sullivan at first, Squires at second, Bowman. There's a ball hit to the Squire at second base. Scoops it up and goes to Sullivan at first for out number 1. So 4-3 is the play. Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Brian Rosario. Once again, Ballman was at short, Richards at third, Pearson in left, Spear in center field, and Featherston in right, with Badgett catching. Now for J.T. Mossberg. First pitch called a strike to Rosario. And that ball gets away. Evens up the count at 1-1 now. Rosario is 3 for 3 here in the ball game with 1 run scored and 3 RBIs, as he had a single in the first, a double in the second with 2 RBIs, and a single in the fourth with an RBI, but was left stranded both in the second and in the fourth inning. There's the pitch by Mossberg. Swing and a miss by Rosario. Count evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top half of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss by Rosario. For out number 2. Brings up the first baseman, number 15, Mark Salceda. Salceda is 1 for 3 here in the ball game with 1 RBI, batting .625 here in the tournament. There's a hard hit ball up the middle, and Salceda records another hit, second hit of the ball game. Going to bring up the left fielder, number 22, Jake Gitter. Gitter is 0 for 2 with 1 base on balls and 2 strikeouts. He's batting .333 for the tournament. There's a high fly ball in the infield, third baseman Richards calls for, makes the catch for out number 3. So top half of the 6th inning, no runs. At the end of 5.5 innings of play, it is the Cyclones 8 and the Waves 7. We'll be right back.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Cyclones will be the left fielder, number 21, Jake Pearson. First pitch is a swing and a miss by Pearson. Pearson is 1 for 2. There's a ball hit to the third baseman. Goes off Palm's leg, but he's able to recover As we go 5-3 on the play, Palm Salcedo. Going to bring up the catcher number 28, Kennedy Badgett. Badgett is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And he grounded out to short in the second inning. Those strikeouts came in the first and in the fourth inning. There's a hard hit ball into left center field. Making a diving catch was Rosario as he dove to his right and made that catch for out number 2. That is a key construction, key play of the game here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Anybody that makes a great play, they get that da-da-dunt, and that's exactly what happened there. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Caleb Squires. No balls and 1 strike down to Squires. Squires is 2 for 3 here in this ball game. As he has scored 1 run, has 1 RBI and 1 strikeout, batting .409 here for the tournament. Count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike now to second baseman Caleb Squires. And there's Hoff's pitch missing high. And there's a foul ball on top of the roof of Lawrence Dumont Stadium here in Wichita, Kansas. We are on the banks of the Arkansas River. 91 degrees. There's a ball foul because it's going to go into the stands. Chasing that was third baseman Palm, but it did reach the stands. So the count is 3-2 now to Caleb Squires with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score of the Cyclones 8 and the Waves 7. There's a hard hit ball into center field. Center fielder Rosario moves to his left, makes the catch for out number 3. At the end of 6, Cyclones 8 and the Waves 7, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium, 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, as we go into the top half of the 7th inning. And the score, the Colorado Cyclones 8 and the San Diego, California Waves 7. Leading off top half of the 7th inning will be the catcher, number 37, Juan Parra. Correction, pinch hitting will be number 24, Jake Rico. Now pinch hitting for San Diego. So he will be replacing Juan Parra. Jake Rico from San Diego, California. He's a 6'2", 220-pounder. A junior from CSU San Marcos. And let's see if strikeout. We're out number one. The catcher dropped the ball and had to throw him out at first. It's going to bring up the right fielder number 18, Justin Brazil.
Right fielder number 18, Justin Brazil.
And JT Mossberg still pitching for the Cyclones. He's recorded 2 innings pitched. Has given up 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and he has faced 9 batters. As he has gone 2 1/3 innings now. And there's a fly ball into the infield. First baseman gets under it. Sullivan makes the catch for out number 2.
Tipsy ticket. That consists of a $20 ticket that gets you a game ticket. Plus
Sullivan
free drinks from the concession
came right back behind the pitcher's mound, and he waving those arms, letting everybody know and hollering, "I've got it," as he makes the catch. And it looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter. I believe it's 23. No, it looks like it's number 27. 27 now batting for San Diego. That would be Jacob Sniffen from San Diego, California, a 6'2", 200-pounder junior from the University of Hawaii. Left-handed. And there's a hard hit ball into center field. Shearer goes back and it is over his head. And in with a double pinch hitting is Jacob Sniffen.
the whole team come to star. Our professionals can help design the perfect size and shape. And
Boy, I love it when stuff like that happens. Makes the coach look brilliant.
find out more information at starlumber.com.
That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 6, Chris Begg.
Second baseman number 6, Chris Begg.
And Sniffen is at second base with that double. Swing and a miss there by Begg. Count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second base with 2 outs as we're in the top half of the 7th inning. With the score, the Cyclones 8 and the Waves 7. Missing inside is Mossberg. 3-1 now the count. To Chris Begg, second baseman for the Waves. There's a hard hit ball to the third baseman. Richard diving, makes the catch, throws to first base for the outs. So the play goes 5-3 for out number 3. At the end of 6.5, it is the Cyclones 8 and the Waves 7. We'll be right back.
Hey, make it out every Friday of the NBC World Series this year. All college students will get free admission into the NBC World Series and will be offering $3 16-ounce Natty Light cans.
And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium for the 84th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by West Star Energy. Hop now starting off his second inning as he came in relief here. It's going to bring up, as we're in the bottom half of the seventh inning, first baseman number 30, Ryan Sullivan, will be the batter. Hop so far has recorded 2 innings of play and has faced 5 batters. Swing and a miss there by Ryan Sullivan to start off the bottom half of the seventh inning as the Cyclones are up 8-7 over the San Diego, California Waves. There's a swing and a miss by Sullivan, 74 miles an hour on that last pitch from Hop. Oh, and 2 now the count. Just missing outside. Hop is a good-sized kid, 6'9", a 225-pounder. Right-handed thrower for the Waves. And there's a hard-hit ball into left center field. Going back, and that ball is off the wall, the base of the wall, and Sullivan will be at second base. And the ball gets away as it comes in. Ball got away as the ball came in, and looks like Rico, the catcher, attempted to go to third base as Sullivan took off for third base when the ball got away, and he almost overthrew that to the third baseman, Palm, but Palm did a great job of jumping up and stopping that before it went over his head. So Sullivan ends up at third base after the double. I'm sure there's going to be an error on the play. It's going to bring up the third baseman number 20, Evan Richards. Richards, the left-handed batter, fouls the first one off. Count is no balls and 1 strike.
If that foul ball hits your car, bring it to Autocraft, where the mark of a good body shop is no mark at all.
As Richards is 0 for 1 with 2 runs scored, 2 base on balls, and he's batting .381 for the tournament. Tonight, he's officially 0 for 1. There's just a slap there by Richards into left field. It's going to fall in, and scoring from third base will be Sullivan. As to now, the score goes 9-7 in favor of the Colorado Cyclones.
Thursday is Thirsty Thursday at the NBC World Series. About every Thursday to enjoy Wichita Brewing.
Going to bring up
20-ounce drafts for just $4.
the shortstop, number 6, Trent Bowman. So Richards is at first base. So he records an RBI and a base hit. First pitch is called, strike 1. Nine to 7 now in favor of the Cyclones. And Bowman squares around to bunt. Call strike 2 now by home plate umpire. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first base. And Hop goes to first base as Richards is back safely. No outs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Then a foul ball by Bowman. It goes back to the netting area. here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Trent Bowman. Hop records a strikeout for out number 1. That's going to bring up the center fielder number 13, Pete Shearer. Shearer is officially 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs, as he had that grand slam home run in the bottom half of the first inning. He got hit by a pitch to start off the 4th inning and scored a run. As Pearson there's a foul ball.
AutoTech is the one-stop service center for all of your vehicle service needs, located at 4411 West Central, home of the $24 oil change, 316-940.
Pearson recorded 2 RBIs in that 4th inning with a single. There goes Richards to second base. The ball gets away from the shortstop as the ball was on the left-hand side of the base. Morales tracks it down. Once again, now catching for the Wave is Jake Rico. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Shearer. And a ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop Morales makes a nice stop, but not going to be able to make a play. He faked the throw to first base to see whether Richards would round third base, but he didn't. So now at third base is Richards. First base, a single by Shearer. He records his 3rd hit of the game. It's going to bring up the designated hitter number 11, Aiden Larini. Shearer goes 3 for 3 now. Strike 1 on Larini. Larini is officially 1 for 2 with 1 hit, 1 run scored, and 1 base on balls, and he's batting .273 here for the tournament. Got it runners at first and third with 1 out. There's a breaking ball, 71 miles an hour by Hopt. Call strike 2 by home plate umpire. So the count is no balls, 2 strikes now to Larini. Ball hit to the shortstop, and we have a double play to end the inning. The night before, the Cyclones score 1 run, and now takes the score after 7. The Cyclones 9 and the Wave 7. We'll be right back.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, see what's happening at visitwichita.com.
Well, we welcome you back here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium as we go to the top half of the 8th inning and that bottom half of the 7th inning. The ball was hit to the shortstop, Morales, as he touched second base and went to first for the double play to Salceda. So we're going to the top half of the 8th inning for the San Diego, California Waves as they're down to their last 6 outs, that being down 9-7. Leading off in the 8th inning will be the shortstop number 8, Mitch Morales. And JT Mossberg still on the mound there for Colorado. So again, this is the 6th game played by the Colorado Cyclones here in the NBC World Series, as they were in the first week trying to qualify for this championship week. And so far they are 4-1 here in the World Series, trying to make it 5-1 and be undefeated. Here in the championship week. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball hit to the second baseman. Second baseman backs up Squires. Nice play there by Squires. Couldn't catch that on the fly, so he backs up and lets the ball bounce right into his glove. It goes to Sullivan for out number 1. 4-3 is the official play for out number 1. It's going to bring up the third baseman number 2, Kyle Palm. Now batting for San Diego. Fouled off there by Palm. This has been a back and forth battle between the Waves and the Cyclones, as the Waves started off scoring by scoring 1 run in the top half of the first inning. The Cyclones get a home run, a grand slam home run that is, by Shearer, and their Palm gets hit by Mossberg, so he will go down to first base. It's going to bring up the center fielder number 14, Brian Rosario. Once again, the Cyclones hit that grand slam home run in the bottom half of the 4th. The Wave come back and score 4 runs in the top half of the 4th to make it 5-4. And then they score 2 runs in the 4th to make it 7-4. And then the Cyclones, there's a bunt laid down to the third baseman. Throws it left of Sullivan. That was Richards to Sullivan. Not going to be in time. And I'm sure Rosario will get in with a base hit. Nice bunt there by Rosario. As Palm goes to second base, he was hit by a pitch. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 15, Mark Sauceda. Is now up with 1 out and 2 runners on base here in the top half of the 8th inning, as the Wave are down 9-7. There's a hard hit ball into right field. Backing up is Featherston. Looks like he's going to have plenty of room. He'll make the catch, but tagging up at first base is Rosario, and tagging up at second base is Palm. So both runners advance. Sauceda hits a deep fly ball into right field for out number 2. F9 is the play. Sacrifice there, which brings up the left fielder, number 22, Jake Gitter. There's a hard hit ball to the second baseman Squire. Back moves to his right, goes to Sullivan for out number 3. 4-3 is the play. And at the end of 7.5, the score, the Cyclones 9 and the Waves 7. And we'll be right back.
The wait is over. The multi-platinum award-winning duo Sugarland, back on tour for the first time in 5 years. Still the same 2018 tour. Saturday, August 18th at Entrust Bank Arena. The undeniable distinctive sound of Sugarland with special guests Frankie Ballard and Lindsay L. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com. Get ready for Sugarland.
And we welcome you back here to Lawrence Dumont Stadium as we're going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score of the Colorado Cyclones 9 and the San Diego California Waves 7. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Once again, we hope you're enjoying the telecast here this evening on YouTube. Our crew here does a fine job. Cameraman our camera woman here tonight. We thank her very much. Chris Worrell on the board. And like I say, we're going to the bottom half of the 8th inning as the Wave left runners at second and third base stranded. We're going to have a new pitcher now for the Wave. It's number 11, Austin Eggleston. Eggleston is from Fort Worth, Texas, a 5'10", 150-pounder, a junior out of Friends University here in Wichita, Kansas. So he'll be coming on for the Wave. He'll be facing the right fielder, number 25, Wyatt Featherston. And it's Eggleston against Featherston. First pitch missing inside. Us announcers just love the challenge of these names. Especially when they're spelled one way and pronounced a different way. There's a call, strike one to Featherston. I remember I did a basketball game one day between two high school teams. Both players wore the same number, 10, and they both guarded each other. And one player was named Simon. They both spelled the same way. One was pronounced Simon and the other was pronounced Simmons. And once again, they were both guarding each other, so that made it very challenging and interesting. Had to always remember they were going towards one way, it was Simon, and if they were going the other way, it was Simmons. And I could tell you some stories about pronunciations of names. One great story that I have, I wrote it in a post that I put it a couple years ago here for the National Baseball Congress World Series. I remember talking to Oklahoma team. They came down, and usually I go down on the field and get the pronunciations of the names. Don't always get them correctly, but try to. Featherston is hit with a hit pitch. So he goes to first base, brings up the left fielder, number 21, Jake Pearson. Anyway, I was down there talking to the coach. I was facing home plate with my back to right field along the first base side. And I say, hey, coach, how do you pronounce this kid's name? And he says, hey, so-and-so, how do you pronounce your name? And I'm thinking that the kid was out in right field. And all I hear him say is, I don't remember what his name was, but all he said was, hey, coach, it's okay if he calls me Bubba. About that time, I hear some footsteps behind me, and I look back, and it's about a kid about 6'11", and I look up at him, and I said, young man, I'll call you anything you want me to call you. That's just one of my stories about pronunciation of names. Anyway, Pearson is up to bat. We'll get back to baseball. Hoping to have John, the legendary pitching coach, John Shin, from the San Diego Wave on the broadcast tomorrow. I know that you will enjoy some of his stories. There's a swing and a miss there by Jake Pearson for out number one. I had him on last year and really enjoyed talking to him. Very knowledgeable baseball coach and pitching coach for the California Wave. Said he would join me tomorrow evening, so hope he does. Brings up the catcher, number 28, Kennedy Badgett. There's a throw over to first base. Featherston is in safely as Eggleston throws over to Salceda. And there's a throw pitched on the outside corner. Call strike one. No balls and one strike as we're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score, the Cyclones, the home team, 9, and the Wave, 7, the visiting team. And there's a pitch, a hit ball to the right side. Rosario, who is now playing right field, makes the catch. He hustles it in home. The Featherstone did not see that. He thought he was going to be safely at second base, and he had to hustle back quickly. And it looks like they just missed the tag. So we have 2 outs now on that fly out to right field. Now batting is the second baseman number 3, Caleb Squires. And we have a change on the defense side. McClellan is now playing center field. Rosario moves over to right field. Brazil moves over to left field. Still have Salceda at first, Begg at second, Morales at short, and Palm at third base with Rico catching. They don't have the pitching change yet on Point Streak, but it is now Austin Eggleston pitching for the Wave. There's a pitch missing outside. The count evens up now at 2 balls, 2 strikes, with a runner at first base and 2 down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Featherstone at first got hit by a pitch by Eggleston. So again, we have 2 outs. There's a ball missing high, so we're going to have a full count. Featherstone will be taken off on the pitch. Well, now they're showing 2 and 2. There it goes, 3 and 2. Scoreboard operator has not got that yet, but Point Streak has. Full count now. And a throw over to first base. Featherstone back safely. Scoreboard operator still hasn't made the change. And there goes Featherstone and calls strike 3 for out number 3. Squires goes down, so at the end of 8 innings of play, it is the Colorado Cyclones 9 and the San Diego, California Wave 7. And we're going to be right back.
Leonard Skinner, last of the street survivors, farewell tour. Saturday, September 29th in Trust Bank Arena. With special guest, the Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner, on their final tour ever. Tickets are on sale now at selectaseat.com, the venue box office, or charge by phone. Leonard Skinner, playing in Trust Bank Arena one last time.
All right, we're back as we go to the top half of the 9th inning. Now batting is the catcher number 24, Jake Rico. He fouls that one off. The count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Had to go down the official score, and they weren't showing the change on the pitcher, so I want to make sure that they were aware of it. 2-1 the count. Still Pitching is J.T. Mossberg. So far, he has gone 4 innings, has 4 hits, 1 base on balls, and 3 strikeouts. Face 18 batters. And Enrico's on with a base on balls. Going to bring up the right fielder. Correction, we're going to have a pinch hitter. Will be number 9. Will be Austin Riemann. He's from Escondido, California. 5'10", 190-pounder. Sophomore out of Feather River Community College. And there's a ball hit to the third baseman. Richards goes to second. Squires had to jump up and get that, but he came down on the base before Rico reached second base. So we have a forced out at second base, 5-4 for out number 1. Now batting the designated hitter number 27, Jacob Sniffen. Once again, number 9. Riemann is at first base, reaching on a fielder's choice. All hit out into left field. Coming in is Pearson. Pearson goes to the left, makes the catch for out number 2. And now the San Diego, California Waves down to their last out. Batting will be the second baseman, number 6, Chris Begg. As we have 2 down here in the top half of the 9th inning. There's a ball hit to the shortstop. Bowman goes to Squires at second base for the force out, and that is the ball game. With the final score, the Colorado Cyclones 9 and the San Diego, California Waves 7. And congratulations goes to the Colorado Cyclones that they now go 5-1 here in the tournament as they came out of week number 1. So congratulations to them. Our other games here today, we had the Everett Merchants 7-2 over the Force. The second game was the Cheney Diamond Dogs 9-3 over the Colorado Black Bears. And then in our feature game with the San Antonio, Texas Angels, who also came out of the first week, 6-3 over the National Junior College baseball team. And our games tomorrow, real quick, we have at 1 o'clock will be the Clarinda, Iowa A's versus the Wellington, Kansas Heat. Our 3:30 game, the Lone Star Baseball versus Dodge City, Kansas A's. Our feature game will be the Seattle, Washington Studs versus the Santa Barbara, California Forsters. Tomorrow's feature game. And then our 9:30 game, which we'll have here tomorrow night. And I'll be your announcer, hopefully along with legendary pitching coach John Shin, will be the San Diego, California Stars versus the Hayes, Kansas Larks. Once again, this is Frank Martinez. We hope you enjoy the telecast. We wish you a good evening and a good night.